You are live. You are. Do they say that in the? No, right? It's only the full distance. You are an Olympic distance.
Not
That's a
that
terrible
impressive.
start, Alex. It's
Yeah.
a terrible.
128 days.
Oh, look, I look scared.
Yeah, it's a lot of time, isn't it? A lot of time.
Ben, do you remember what time it switched over for us?
I think it was under 100 was the panic zone, wasn't it?
Mm.
Because that's when,
Yeah.
as soon as it goes under 100 days, you're looking in weeks, then aren't you? Instead of anything else, you're like, oh my god. I think it was about 100 days when we worked out. Even if we did all of our training sessions, we only had 50 sessions left or something like that, or maybe a bit more than that. But
Yeah. So how are you feeling, Rebecca?
Well, are none of you going to ask me?
How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm sitting a bit funny, aren't I?
Oh,
Oh, why are you sitting like that? Oh, I'm just getting weighed down by my medal.
we can't see your medal because of your background. Oh, it's
There you
there.
go. It's so heavy, you know.
wow.
I wondered how long I was going to have to sit like that.
I thought you were trying to show off your background,
No, I don't
which
care
you're not
about
even
that.
in.
What's your medal?
What's my medal?
Yeah.
My medal is from the European Running Championships. Marathon.
What did
Who
you
did
do?
you steal it from?
Yeah.
Where did you find it?
Yeah.
And mine's downstairs in the garage with hundreds of others.
Hundreds of others. Right. And I'm wrapping the t-shirt.
See that? Very nice.
Prepared. Well. Yeah. Ben's.
I've just got a panda today. The struggle is real, panda.
That's not a panda.
Polar bear.
No, it's a panda. It's black
It's a
and
dog,
white.
isn't it?
It's not a dog.
Looks like a boxer dog.
Well, I think it's a bit irrelevant anyway. The thing's weightlifting, so we
I
shouldn't
don't
really
think
be
it's an
arguing.
elephant.
Oh, I get it.
Wow.
I was like, nobody mentioned an elephant. What are you talking about?
It's a
It's
gene
far
buff.
faster hopefully you're faster than that on race day.
Yeah.
Today we are talking about two things. Well, yeah, one, it's 128 days away from the next event. We'll talk about that in part two. Part one, we're doing a recap of the previous event, which was where Rebecca got her medal from the European Championships. What did you do? How was it? What did you learn? What have you changed?
Well, Dad also did it. We all did it together. What did we do? Half marathon. When did we do it? The other weekend. And it was really, really good fun. I loved it. I'm going to say every minute of it, although that's probably not true, but there weren't any. I was talking to my run club and they were like, did you have any bad moments? And I was like, no, not really. I didn't like the start, but Dad, we spoke about that we were meant to start at 10, was it?
No, the race started at 10.
Yeah, the race started
And that's
at
the
10.
bit we miscalculated, yeah.
And because we were the last box, the last people to leave, we actually didn't leave until about 20 to 11. And where we were stood, there was no music. You couldn't see anyone going. There was like no atmosphere at all. So that led us going to the toilet, I think, about 3 more times. So I didn't really enjoy that. Like, it's so different going and running by yourself. You just go when you're ready and then just waiting around. And it's like, oh, that wasn't fun. But
In the last week, Ben's also got an update.
yeah, his name has changed. Yeah.
Fairly significant update.
He's got a new triathlete in the
Was
family.
it a PB?
Yeah, and we now have an interesting problem, really, because if I have a triathlon relay team, one of them is going to have to be the reserve.
Yeah, it's true. Or the Sherpa.
Yeah,
The Sherpa carrying everything, yeah.
rotating Sherpa.
But yeah, it was good. It was a good day. I know I think I set off too quickly, but at the same time, it was my first ever race. And I don't know, I had all the nutrition I needed to. I remember saying beforehand I wasn't sure if I was going to take anything from the stations because I never have. But actually, it was a hot day, and so at every station I just took like a sip of water or 2 sips of water, but that was it. I didn't want to do too much because of the liquid in my stomach. And other than that, everything went pretty much to plan. I can't remember my time. I can't remember if I was 3 or 8 minutes over my time that I was aiming for.
What were you aiming?
I was aiming for 2:40. I'll have a look. But anyway, I don't even really care because I'm just happy I did it and I had fun. So
It was a tough day.
Yeah, it was hot, very hot.
Heat.
Yeah. Which Dad suffered with, didn't he?
No, I was okay.
I was going to say, it's not even on Strava, your run, Rebecca, but it is.
Yeah, it is. What was it?
Your moving time. Is that the one, or do you want your elapsed time?
I don't know.
Well, your moving time was 2 hours 38. Your elapsed time was 2 hours 43.
Oh, yeah. So then... So actually, I did it.
But yours is always a bit funny.
But do you think that's like... But wait, I wouldn't have been recording and not moving.
That's why I mean yours is always a bit funny. It could have been your pace, like the pace jumps that you sometimes get. Or if you walked through an aid station or something like that, it might have paused, which...
Well, my official time was 2:43 then, so I was 3 minutes over.
Quite good then. It's quite accurate, isn't it?
I think, yeah, not too bad considering like there was that big hill at the start, and also I was walking through the aid stations to have a drink, which like I hadn't accounted for. So if I hadn't have done that, I think I would have been in time.
You do a better job at setting a race time than I do.
Yeah, that's true.
A more realistic estimate.
Yeah.
There was quite some things about it being an organised race. That's the first one you've done. You said you didn't take anything at the aid stations. There wasn't much left, was there?
No, there wasn't. Yeah, there wasn't anything to take anyway.
Not food or nutrition. I think there might have been 1 or 2 things left if you were lucky, but there was water and isotonics. You didn't put water on your head?
No.
And the other
I was a bit worried about pouring water because it was a hot day and there was people with guns or hoses. I was actually a bit worried about that because of like t-shirts rubbing or your socks rubbing, so I didn't pour any water anywhere.
Yeah, I was more worried for Orla and I being in the heat that long as well, because there were some parts of it was brand new tarmac, so you were getting the heat both ways. So
yeah,
but once you chuck one on your head, you can feel the instant impact of, oh, that's better, how hot you are. You've got to cool down, because there was quite a few people recovered, or quite a few people laying by the side of the road as well.
Yeah, but as you said, for you, like you think that was part of the problem at the end, no? That, or your face, his dad's face afterwards, he was like 5 shades darker on his head than anywhere else.
Yeah, probably because of the water. But the other bit was when they try and get the distance in, so they had the wiggle waggle at the end.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
come
yeah.
in.
Horrible.
Nobody would ever design a race like that. You'd have the wiggle waggle somewhere else because you
Yeah.
come in by the Stella Artois brewery. You've only got to go up past the bus station and you're there. So in your head, it's just around the corner. Okay, slightly uphill, but then it's like left here and down here and up here and cobbles there, and it's like, oh,
Round this road, round this
is
corner,
this a
up this
nightmare? Is
hill.
this like perpetually running? You're never actually going to get to this is a test to see how far people will go because they never actually get to the end.
Yeah.
And
But
then the
then all
worst
of a
bit, you go
sudden,
through, you go through, and then you have to walk all the way around that huge block to get back to the block of houses.
oh yeah, that was bad actually. Yeah, it's
After
amazing
the
how.
finish.
Yeah,
Yeah, to
it
go
was a
back and
lot.
meet everybody.
It was probably like a 10-minute walk or something back. No.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
everyone's everywhere. No
Yeah.
respect for the runners that have done it. People
Yeah.
sitting down, people with bikes, people rushing about everywhere, and
Yeah.
carnage. They're the kind of worst bits. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's true. You forget about them. And then it was the same thing as watching the boys' dad that I had because I was like, oh, I know you lot aren't going to be too far behind me, so I couldn't leisurely walk. I was like, had a bit of a strut on weaving through this crowd because I was like, I don't want to miss you guys coming through.
But yeah, it was good, wasn't it? But yeah, unexpectedly warm. Ben, you saw it on Strava? Did it say the temperature?
I don't think Rebecca's one had the temperature.
No.
Yeah, it was interesting because it was another scorcher today, wasn't it? And you would feel sorry for anybody out running or anything in that one today.
You know what? It must have been like 23 or warmer, do you think?
It wasn't like today, was it? Today was 27. It wasn't anywhere near today, but
Wow.
it was above 20.
Yeah.
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 I think it was also the fact that it was like the first day. So it was perceived as warmer or felt warmer, had
Yeah.
like more of a shock.
Well, I think that's interesting. Like for me, it was quite okay because that's what I'm training in these days anyway. So I wasn't that. I was in leggings. I think I said to you, Alex, at the start, I was like, everyone is wearing shorts.
Yeah.
Have I made a mistake? But I was fine. Dad, what did you learn? He's got the temperature.
Yeah, it only says 13 degrees on Dad's
Oh, well,
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at. That's why I went, poof.
Dad's Strava. So that might be at the
more
beginning.
in the morning. But even in the morning, it was warmer than that.
I don't know. Yeah, it was warm, but I was going to say I don't know if it was warm or direct sun that caused the challenge. My comment said in beach or warm.
I think
And
on a
the
website I'm
start was
looking at,
10:45. Yeah.
24 was the high.
yeah.
So look that
And
right,
as you said, like I think the hardest part. Interestingly, I thought the hardest part would be the hills that we heard about, the hill at the end. And actually, the hill at the end, I don't think you notice because you're so close to the end. But that first hill, like 2 kilometers in, that was sneaky. That was a big one. But at that point, I had like a lot of adrenaline, so I ran up that, and I got to the top, and I was like, "Oh, my heart rate was insane." But I do think the thing that was hardest was those long stretches, like along the canal, as you said, like the tarmac, the heat's coming up. There was no shade, and I don't know about for you, Dad, but for me, along there, everyone was walking, and it's one straight road, and you can just see everyone walking, and it's really hard to be like, I'm not gonna, but I was like, no, I'm gonna overtake. And we had this conversation, like you pick one person in front and then you get to them and then another and then another. But that was hot. That was a hot, and no supporters there either. So it was really tough.
What was your favorite bit?
apart from the end.
Yeah, well, the end obviously was really, really good. But I think just in general, I've never had like a crowd supporting you and you have your name on your bib and like random people calling out your name, like, come on, Rebecca. And you're like, oh, like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go a bit faster for you. I think just that, like the atmosphere and the people around was really good. I actually took a video. I don't think I've showed any of you. I took a video as I was going around, like smile. I was just having a great time. I was.
Imagine if you did like the London Marathon. That's apparently got support the whole way round.
Yeah,
And like in some places it's like 10, 15 people deep as well.
Yeah, that's
It's
crazy.
like thousands of people. But again, your start line issues. If you think it was bad for you, I think London Marathon you could be there for more than an hour. I think
2 hours they were.
two of them, some of them waiting to start.
Yeah.
So to put that into context, that means the last people could be starting when the elite people have finished.
Yeah.
They only take 2 hours and a few minutes to do it, don't they?
Yeah.
Well,
and
as
did you
you
see
said,
as well, I watched a bit of it on TV. There was some bits on the course, and I was like, "What on earth are they doing?" Where it seemed to be quite wide and then narrowed down, and there was like quite a lot of people being funneled into the narrower sections. I wouldn't have fancied that at all.
No, I wouldn't like that.
And for me, Rebecca, Dad, or Laura, it's probably okay because you're not going at the dramatic speed. But Alex, if you were doing it, and I think the people nearby you were all running at the same speed, it would have been quite tough for you to funnel into those sections at speed, I think.
Yeah, but then everyone's moving at the same speed anyway, aren't they? So it does work together.
Yeah, but
who was it? There was one race where they tripped everybody up. You can, it is, they can.
I was surprised here because it went like from the road halved in width, and everyone had to like funnel in, and like there was just that you couldn't go the other way. There was people walking in the opposite direction in the funnel part too. So like,
I think
it was really weird.
There's a lot that you have to think about. We spoke about it, Alex, as well afterwards. But Ben, you mentioned in the chat, like, imagine the queue for the toilets at a race like that. Like, we had to queue. Well, actually, we didn't. If we walked a bit further down, the toilets were empty. But I think, Alex, we were then speaking about the size of races, and I don't think I would want to go much bigger than that. Like, that was already almost like my limit of how many people I would want around it, and I was at the back, so it wasn't even that busy or that crowded. But just in terms of like weaving through people, or things like that, and organization and waiting.
And the quantity of people who have used the toilet before you, that can be quite disturbing sometimes, can't it?
Yeah.
If you stood waiting for 2 hours to start and then it's going to take you 4 to 5, you're on your feet that whole time as well. It's not like you're laying around chilling.
Yeah, but and
the weather changes.
The London Marathon was 50,000 people, wasn't it? Or something like that, maybe more. Can you imagine if 25,000 people have used the shitter before you? That's not going to be a nice place to go, is it?
No, and like the same with the nutrition, like hopefully they are better prepared, but that's a lot of people coming through before you, wiping out that nutrition and drinks and things.
Yeah, and if it's a hot day and they've accounted for like maybe 1 drink per person.
Yeah.
And people near the front are taking 2 each, then what, the slow people have nothing.
Yeah.
I think we're a bit lucky doing the half, because one of the marathons got in trouble. West Friesland got in trouble, I think, the year before we did it, or one of them did, because they ran out of drinks. There wasn't enough water. But I think they might have had enough stuck there for the marathon the next day. So they probably, although they didn't put it out on the tables.
Yeah.
I had a couple of interesting lessons. One of them came up today. There was a couple of things I shared with Orla. One of them was tipping water over your head. She said that saved her, that helped cool her down. But the other was whenever we saw a cameraman, we reacted.
Yeah, fair enough.
And they love it. So they take loads of pictures of you. She had 107 pictures from the race. Now, we ran practically all of it together. So I didn't buy my photos because they're the same as her photos. But yeah,
that's a good tip.
What if you run together, half price?
Ben, let's go halves on the triathlon runs.
Even if you're quicker or I'm quicker, what we'll do is we'll just wait by each photographer anyway.
But yeah, so if you act up for the cameras, I don't mean sillily or what have you, but pose and look out, you get nicer pictures.
All I'm hearing here is that we should do the triathlon in fancy dress. That's the
It's what you pose and do as well. We had
big
one where we had our
unicorn
hands
horn
up
or
together.
something.
Yeah, but she said that wasn't so good. There
Oh,
was,
but
and I thought of a couple of other things. The other
I
one,
did.
but
Wait, I did pose for one. That's the only one that's not included in my pack. I was waiting for that photo.
maybe you didn't get it. Yeah, so it's not just for one.
Or you have to search by face ID.
Oh, true.
But watching Alex's that went past down the bottom of the road, we know what Alex looks like. We know he's fast. The size and shape of people is odd. And size is just not what you expect. And it was Brendan Foster. I remember saying this about the London Marathon as well. It used to be elite runners only, and now it's everyone. But you see the people go through, on the 1:55, the 2 hours, and you think, oh my gosh, he don't look like a runner. And
Yeah.
how are they going that fast? It's weird. It's not all tall, thin people. So yeah, that was an interesting one. But do you remember? So that was the weight is the worry. But the last one I'll throw out there, which wasn't from our race, but the next day, the amount of clothes that were lying around.
Yeah.
There was a lot more toilets at the start of the marathon, but there was everyone going. The marathon started by the palace, the Royal Palace.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of people in the Royal Park just in front of it, and there was people peeing in all of the bushes, but people stripping off as well. So that obviously it was cooler the next day, wasn't it, and wet. So they had everything from literally coats, umbrellas, plastic bags, jumpers, backpacks, everything, and it was all piled up by a bin. They all stripped off just before they started and just left it there.
Yeah.
They weren't prepared for that. They didn't have like a closed donation box open or something like that.
Not that
Whether they went around and collected them up, but it wasn't an obvious. So there's one of those, where they put the 3 iron things together to make a triangle to direct you and put signs up as to who's starting where.
Yeah.
Every angle of that was covered with jumpers and tops. We were stood near a bin. There was piles, literally people threw a backpack there that had clothes in it.
Yeah.
Some people left it in a specific place, whether they went back at the end and hoped it was still there, but they'd be lucky, yeah.
I mean, there was bag drop off, but I guess these people it's not.
Well, the point, that's why I had the bin bag, right? Is that you can wear it in case you're standing in line for an hour or 40 minutes after it starts. That's when you want to still be wearing it.
Yeah.
I guess if you know you've got somebody who's watching you, I think I've done it before as well on a marathon. You tell someone, look, you go to the 3rd or 4th corner or something like that, like, a couple 100 meters in. And then normally by then you don't need your jumper anymore. Like as soon as you see the start, you can take your jumper off and start running and hand it off to someone too. I'd be amazed if there wasn't some sort of charity or someone collecting these clothes to, stick them in a washing machine and then give them to homeless people, because some of the clothes would have been, I guess, quite warm, quite good weather gear as well, probably.
Yeah,
Coats,
maybe they did
hoodies,
afterwards. Yeah, everything.
You don't wear if you know that you're gonna put it down, you don't wear your best, do you?
Yeah.
No, but if it's being given to homeless people afterwards, it's still going to be fairly decent, isn't it? They'll be happy with some nice, like, even if it's an old Adidas running coat or something like that.
Yeah.
But I also said if you have a regular clear out and you're about to donate a bag full of clothes to the local charity shop, then you keep the one that
keep the jumper.
It's not your favourite top gun in the pile, but it was still a shock to see how much people were just willing to toss to one side.
Yeah.
You don't have that really at triathlon, do you?
No, because everyone's wetsuited up at the beginning, aren't they? Normally, so you're warm enough in your wetsuit, aren't you, when you're waiting?
Yeah, and even at a big race, it's not like the waiting happens before. So after you've put your stuff, like you've done your final transition check and prepare, you've dropped off your like street clothes or something like that final bag, finish line bag. And then it's like that waiting before.
Yeah. But what's
So
quite
you-
interesting is, like in a triathlon as well, we laughed, didn't we, quite a few times, saying like if you litter, you get disqualified. I bet that's a marathon rule as well, but maybe not as enforced.
No, I don't think it is.
I
Not
didn't
like
see
the
that
amount
much.
of gels and cups and stuff that were.
There's nothing stopping
Yeah,
you.
but you
like,
have a zone for that, don't you?
Mm.
You got the bins, and it's like you're not supposed to throw them after that. But yeah,
Yeah. On the half
I was
marathon,
happy with that on mine.
I
I
really
was like
didn't see.
targeting the bins.
Mm.
Gave myself a couple of points.
Yeah, but I've also seen that a few times when someone misses and you can see them like, oh, going down and coming back up. How was your marathon, Alex?
It's not about me.
Well, it's a little update, isn't it?
Was good.
that's it.
Now the full story.
Until it wasn't.
were you 3 or 8 minutes over your target time?
No, I was my
Does that mean?
usual like range of 15-20 minutes over.
And
Yeah.
you said it was good until it wasn't.
Yeah.
What happened?
No, we're not doing this.
Why?
That's a different episode. That's a different story.
Wow, the listeners are waiting.
We
All
can
right, but
do.
just one question for you then.
Yeah.
You've
would I
done an
change?
Ironman.
Nothing.
Yeah, you've done an Ironman, which has a marathon at the end of it. This was a marathon only, so it must have been easier.
Harder. I would still say harder.
How can that be?
Because it's different effort, different mentality.
Yeah, you go into it different, don't you?
Yeah, if you go back and listen to the number, I think every episode at least once you would have told me, this is not a race, this is not a race. You go slow, you go zone 2, or you die, motherfucker, or something like that, you would say. And then this was a race, so
Mm.
I think that's...
So how did your time compare? That's the second
hour?
question. I said there's only one. Hour different?
Something like that, or 55 minutes, 50 minutes.
Wow.
Mm.
Well,
Quicker, yeah.
Yeah.
Just
What
to make
did
sure
he say?
everyone was aware.
He said quicker. That doesn't seem like that much to me.
An hour?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot. Out. So from what to what? 4 to 3?
Yeah, so 440 to 350.
Yeah, that's massive.
Quite good. I mean,
Yeah, but I didn't do
considering
anything before this.
Yeah, considering all the effort you put into an Ironman before the marathon, yeah, maybe you'd expect that marathon to be a bit slower than the one you just did. But if somebody offered you an hour off of any of your times, you'd be like, yes, please, wouldn't you? So yeah, the trick is quite easy, isn't it? Don't do a 180 kilometer cycle on a 4 kilometer swim just before it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I think an hour sounds about right. I think, what did I say? My marathon time, my best one was 4.5, I think. And I said for the Ironman marathon, I'd be happy with anything under 6. So I allowed an hour and a bit more.
Yeah.
So yeah, sounds good to me. I also can understand it's probably a different zone, isn't it? That you're a different heart rate zone that you're in for this marathon compared to the triathlon as well.
Yeah, I don't remember from the Ironman. It probably started high and then dropped off quite a bit.
But you're meant to stay in zone 2 during the Ironman, aren't you? Or is it zone 3 even? I can't remember.
If it's 3, it's low 3. It should be anyway.
Yeah. And then for marathon, probably for a marathon, you have to train to the point where your target time is within those zones anyway, because otherwise you're not going to last the time, are you?
Yeah.
Bye, Rebecca.
Yeah, I think marathon, I read you can end in like upper zone 4, but
Yeah, but you're talking
If
like
you
the
got
last
it left.
kilometre,
yeah.
the sprint finish, yeah, not the last 10k or something.
Yeah.
I had as we were pocket rockets back. So as we were talking about it, I thought, the week before I was due to go out on one of my first cycles and I had a nightmare on the bike, got a puncture, had to walk back 5 kilometers, but I was going out to cycle the route. Would it have helped to know the route in advance? At first I thought it would help because we went a lot further out down the canal than I thought and down some hot roads. Would it?
But
And
what
you
would
to
you
have
have
seen that
changed?
hill and known that hill, would that have helped, or would I be going around the corner thinking, "Oh my god, I know what's coming"? I don't know. Or most of the Ironmen are noobs. Are noobs better than an out and back? Or yours was A to B, so would that be better?
I think for you guys, not for the short one, right? Because there would have been lots more people, like racing people, all getting in each other's way then, wouldn't there? If you had loops, especially on a 20k, you can't do that for a 20k, can you? Would have been
Well,
very busy.
they do it at Triathlon, don't they? But there's not 10,000 people doing it.
Yeah.
Then
I
they've already
almost
stretched
liked
out, haven't they?
the element of surprise, like you didn't know. I think that's what, yeah, Dad, as you said, if you'd have known there's a big hill around the corner, you run differently or you dread it. Whereas you just, for me, like you just had to. It was like, oh, we're going here. Oh, we're doing this. Oh, there's another
But I
hill.
think that's the difference. It's what you're going into the race, like what you want to get out of it, would change how you set up. Like
Yeah.
your goal was just to get it, like just to finish. You had a time target, which you weren't far off, but you didn't as you said, you didn't take into account the elevation or something like that. So it was a loose target based on how you've been running in training. So yeah, then it's like it's the challenge of the day, right? Whatever comes, and that's part of the experience. But for me, it was I'd run half of the course or almost half of the course in training for the Ironman, so like a year ago, and then I did another stretch of it like 3 weeks before the race or a month before the race because I knew it was a hill and I wanted to see my pace up the hill and what that did to my heart rate. And I'm glad I did it. But then my aim was not to just finish. My aim was to finish, as quickly as I could on the day.
So we're gonna have another episode looking at you.
Alex and his unrealistic targets.
Well, actually, another episode, or we're hopefully lining up some kind of another Woo talks about the mental side of these races, these challenges, and I think goal setting will be a topic in there.
Yeah.
Well, the picture, my background is from open lakes, and I was quite keen to get down there, and it was quite a flat run, but it's quite a hilly ride. And I want to know if I've done that course, I know what the hills are, and you can do them. With a run, you could always walk, and you can walk on the bike as well. But it's knowing that you could do them, and and then when you're there on the day, you can do it.
Yeah.
And I think with all I kept saying, is this the big hill? Is this the big hill? Is this the only one? Is there one at the end? Because I look at you can look at the charts, and the chart showed you there was a hill at the beginning. And then you have to be very experienced or quite clever to be able to read those to know, okay, yeah, I can do that. Because you look at, yeah, that looks all right. And you get out there, go, oh gosh, a little bit steeper than you thought. And, a difference between an 8%, 10%, 12% hill is bloody huge, depending on how far it goes. And you get, the more you cycle, the more you know, okay, if it's 8% and it's 3 kilometers, that's fine, or what you can and can't do. But yeah, having and it's a bit like why I like doing a half marathon before a half triathlon as well, is okay, I know I've got that distance, so I know I can do it. There's not the, will I get to the end? Will I get up this hill?
Like Ola wanting to do the distance before, right? Like knowing you can do it. Yeah, as you said, that I kind of get it then with if you want to do those particular hills, it's kind of the same mindset, right? That you can do it.
Yeah, because we did, one of our first organised race was a 10k in Larne. And there was an experienced runner at Orla School, They said, "Why did you pick that? That's one of the hilliest ones around." And yeah, we found the hills there. So you think, and then the one we did at Sport City was flat as a pancake, more or less, as flat as you get. And they're totally different kind of runs, yeah.
Yeah.
Cut pretty much halfway.
Right.
Let's transition, because that half marathon was a different goal, but also kind of fitting into the, let's say, the A race of this year, which, let's remind everyone, thank you, Ben, is your first triathlon, the 5150, the Olympic distance at Knokke in Belgium.
I'm going to take my medal off. Do you get medals?
Of course.
Yeah.
And you finish.
I've got 200 downstairs.
200 now. God, he's
Yeah.
got 100 more. Oh no, he said hundreds, didn't he?
You pick
Only if you
races
finish
based
within
on
the
men.
cutoff time as well, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
I didn't
if you
see
don't
from the
take
European Championships if they were actually giving them out to anyone that was after cutoff.
I know.
Okay, I have a question
Ben.
for Rebecca.
Yeah.
How much triathlon training have you done since your half marathon?
1
I like
second.
I've got a rough idea. It's at the end of your sign, Ben. And it ain't the 5.
No, the 3. 1, a solid 1.
When was the half? 2.5 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Is that part of your plan?
Well, come on now. Because we had a week in the UK where, also, let's be honest, we did the half marathon on Saturday. It took me until Wednesday to be able to walk without groaning again.
That's good.
And we played tennis every day, so it wasn't like I was doing
This
nothing.
is not in the plan. No.
But it's just, I mean, it's very interesting. Dad, you said some things to me like, "Oh, I've learned a lot from this podcast and from you lot talking." And there are so many things that I remember you talking about, and now I'm like, oh yeah, it makes sense. Like, getting back into it is so tough, isn't it? Like, once you're back in, you're in, but that first session
Question about so the other day you tried to get out of a run session because your laces were broken.
I did it.
So
I did the session.
Excellent.
But you know what's funny? So then I broke my shoelaces in our family sports day, our all-inclusive family sports day. My laces broke, decapitated themselves. And I had this much to tie together. So I went to Decathlon to buy some new laces. They're not any fecking longer. I bought the wrong size, haven't I? So I couldn't even tie them up. So I have to go get other ones now.
You
But I still ran.
laces or something.
Well, they were 90 centimeters. It's one of those things that they were like, you don't realize really that laces have sizes until you have to buy them. So,
and then you think 90 when you hold it up, that looks long enough. But when you crisscross, it doesn't go anywhere. Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well, well done for getting out there.
I still did it. And I was even laughing about that because, we met. So this is my run club, right? And they're fast ladies, but they were like, here's the half marathoner, welcome back, how are you doing? I've also been a little bit sick, a bit fluey, had a cold, and I was like, yeah, I'm good, this is my first run back, so I want to take it easy. PB, my third PB for a 5 kilometer, and I was like, and at one point we got to the bit where we normally turn around, and they kept going, and I was like, what are you doing? And they were like, just a little bit further, and I was like, this is a joke, isn't it?
But that's the best way, when they sneak it on you like that. Whereas if it was more at the start, you might not have gone out with your short laces.
Yeah, exactly. But 1 session in.
1 run.
1 run, yeah.
How was the run? How are your legs? Are you fresh?
Yeah, it was fine. It actually felt nice to be running again. It was more just my chest, I think, the leftover of the cough, but leg-wise, I was fine. Want to get back out.
What's the plan?
You tell me.
Is there like the one I had? Oh wow, here we go.
It's going to have
Yes.
lots of orange and red crosses on it. Broken Laces, is that an orange cross or a red cross?
Dad, I
Well,
think it's time for you to send a plan to Rebecca like you did for me, like the 3 months to survive Olympic triathlon plan.
No. We're not doing this. Rebecca has a solid plan, which I can walk through. Yeah, so now the idea is that we take a look at her plan, talk about it, see what you both think. But
Can you
I'll
make it
walk you
bigger?
through. In a minute. Calm down.
Oh, sorry.
I'm doing the introduction of the plan first. Because before it was like I made the sessions and she didn't really do them. So now I made some.
So now you're making the sessions and she's not really doing them again.
No, this is like she's moved up in the world. This is a legit plan. This is not like hey, my sister's never done anything before, let's build her up to something. This is a live plan that exists on the internet, designed for triathletes to do triathlon. She's moving up. She's a half marathoner now.
She's got a medal.
But I liked the plan. It doesn't look too bad. So it's an Olympic distance and it is a beginner. I think it's really like a base builder. So since she for context, Dad and I are 12 weeks away from the next race, so we're not on base is gone, build has gone. I don't know what's the next stage, but we should be on peak now. So Rebecca's still got a lot of time, so she can add back in the base because at the end of last year, I don't think she'd started swimming really, but the cycling was good and the running was good. But then it switched to a running focus. So now it's about a base block. I think it's 8 weeks, and then this can also be repeated for another 8 weeks or something like that before we move on to the taper, or not the tapering, but the peak phase of her training plan ahead of 10 weeks out of Knokke. So quite interesting what we did first. No, we didn't do it first, but we did do it.
He right bamboozled me here. He did.
We did a report card. So we both had to vote where we think she is on the disciplines, right now at this point in time, and we'll track this over month over month to see how it changes.
Your run is 10k, right? So half of what you did in the half marathon.
Yeah, that's why that's green. Run is good. She could train the same I did with your plan, Dad. I added some side notes or some caveats that said that really run is the least priority now. If she runs once per week, then she'll still have that done.
Are you sharing it, not or still teasing us?
Huh? What the plan?
Is it sharing? Yeah.
Well, we're looking at the scorecard first. Any other comments or opinions?
You've got a scorecard there. I can't see it. No.
Well, you can't. What?
I can.
I've got a
I can as
circle.
well.
You can. Oh, so it's me.
We might need to refresh that. That's what I had to do before.
What, you just clicked the refresh button and then you went out?
Yeah.
You just got a Control F5 trick or something then as well, haven't you? Just the refresh button. See ya.
He's coming back. Ben, what do you think?
I think you should put my face somewhere on this too, so
I knew this was coming near. Well, go on. Where would you put me then?
Yeah, I think.
Wait. I'll bring
let's
it.
let you two discuss first. Yeah, I haven't looked at your training yet. Wow.
Alex, we can't expose your whole Figma-board.
Yeah, it's too far away. I'll do it after.
You can put a little line.
I'll do me upside down.
Yeah,
oh wow, we came upside down. Yeah, I'm worried about her swim as well. So no, you can put it even more left of you, I think.
Okay.
So how far's the swim? 1500.
Yeah.
How far have you swum so far?
I don't really know because of my watch, but not. I would say maybe 1,000.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I
I
don't.
think
How many
so.
lengths? How many lengths?
She's gonna
40.
say 10.
40
Hang on,
lengths.
hang on.
Without,
Do you have
without
a
stopping.
wetsuit?
No,
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's right up there.
Is the
up
40
there, that's
lengths,
green.
Yeah, okay,
Is
not
40
where I'm
lengths-
sat.
the 40 lengths you did you stop?
Yeah, of course I did.
How many times?
Well, but let's not panic her. When I said that
Yeah,
it's
it's a good
red for
time to panic
now,
her.
it's not. It's 128 days.
Yeah, but
She
if we
can
panic her
repeat
now,
this
she might
base plan.
actually. If we panic her now, she might start swimming. If we don't, then
I
she'll be like,
was,
"Oh,
I
She has
was
started
swimming.
swimming.
I was swimming twice a week.
Yes, let's all calm down. That's where she's at right now. In a month, this will be different.
It will be.
Okay, but yeah, she is in the red, and we're working on it. Ben, for the bike, where are you
Hang
putting-
on. It comes to the plan, does it? In the red and working on it. So when was the last time you swam? When's the next time?
Well, the last time was just before the day before the half marathon, and as we've established, since then I didn't get back into the country until last week, and I've been sick. So let's take a breather. I think I'm going to go on Sunday.
And it will be twice a week.
It's twice a week. Yes.
Okay.
Look at him
Ben,
looking
bye.
at me.
I
Twice
have
to
some
Sundays.
retain,
questions.
3 to gain. Yeah.
I
Sunday's
have
hair
some
wash
questions
day.
here as well. Which bike are you riding? Alex's bike on the
No.
triathlon weekend.
Yeah.
Have you ridden it before?
No.
Have
So
you got?
you've got no wetsuit, no bike, and no laces. Other than
she'll
that,
use
everything's fine.
my wetsuit, my bike. You're gonna be super fast on my bike. I just put aero bars on it.
There we go.
I have another question too. Pedals, normal pedals.
Yeah, I'm going to be using normal pedals for sure.
Okay.
Does that
Furthest
mean you're wearing your
distance.
run shoes on the bike?
Yeah.
Furthest distance you've cycled?
Recently, I would say like a few months ago, 40.
Yeah,
That's
she's done
close.
45 or something.
That's race distance, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you can. I'll go in between you two on that one. I think then. And move me up, and yeah, run in between you both as well, because I think she's done the distance, but we haven't had any brick sessions yet either, so I wouldn't go fully confident, but
She's done duathlons.
bike
She's
and
done
run.
bike, run.
Yeah.
How long? Yeah, but a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in the green there as well. I'm not criticizing. I think the run's not going to be an issue now,
Sounds like.
but I wouldn't go fully confident yet because you haven't done the other two elements before. He's upside down.
Fair enough. I agree.
Dad, do you want to go quickly before we move to the plan?
Yeah.
Off
About
the
there is
chart.
right for swim, I think. No.
What, over here?
I think most people bail out on the swim, and it's the hardest one and can waste a lot of energy as well. And you've got open water, that's the biggest risk for you there. The bike, probably between you both, yeah. You've got, with the half marathon, you've got the level of fitness, that's not the problem. How are you going to get to practice on the bike?
What do you mean? I have a bike. Oh, you mean practice on Alex's bike?
It's
Yeah.
the same. It's got 2 wheels, handlebars.
When you pedal, it goes.
You'll be fine.
Make sure. Is it all a block from listening? She wants to know why I need 10 bikes and if they're all the same.
Yeah, maybe it would just be like a week in the summer and then.
Okay, and Eka, you're green. Alex says you're green on the run.
Yeah.
Did you hear what he said about the difference between his marathon and his Ironman on the run?
Yeah. Yeah, so it'll be piss easy, right?
Yeah.
Off the distance.
Okay,
too.
we'll keep that recording and we'll play that just before.
It will be.
And
That's
it's
the
120 days. I don't like that. That doesn't sound. It's a third of a year.
It's 4 months. Yeah.
Long time.
To yours.
It's in September.
Is that only 4 months?
Yeah, but that's 16 weeks, isn't it? So that's 32 swimming sessions.
It's gonna be
Maximum.
flying.
And that's including the week before where you probably won't swim because you'll be traveling here. So already then you're down to fair. This is what I mean. I don't want to panic you, but
You
I
are.
think you're getting to the point now where you have to start ticking off the sessions rather than missing them.
What do you mean getting to the point? I've only just got my plan. I haven't been able to miss any
Start doing it
sessions.
now.
Oh my
Let's have
god.
I
a
think
look.
this is about when I started actually training too,
No, it
100
wasn't.
properly.
Yeah.
No, you were like
Nah.
2 months out.
2 months out. Okay, that's
Yeah.
good then, isn't it?
No,
Yes.
this is 4 months out. She's well in advance.
If I do it.
I'm
Okay,
looking too.
week 1. Bike. So there's an interesting note about the bike is that she is only using the watch to record. So that does heart rate, that does speed, she doesn't have power. But I kind of put as a side note for those bike sessions, again, like the most important thing is the longer, slower ones. So the interval ones could be swapped over for a swim instead. But if we're looking at first week, 5 times 8 minutes, piece of piss. The swim
That's
session.
total, isn't it?
Huh?
That's a 40-minute cycle, is it?
Yeah. But it should be like with work then. So it's not 40 minutes easy.
Mm-hmm.
You see, it's 3 minutes of hard of the 8 minutes. So the swim also comes with a side note because she's doing, building up to the distance. So could be following those plans, but probably not at the moment. It's just continuing to do the drills that we did, that we practiced together, and then building up the consecutive distance that she's doing. So Ben, to answer your question, she might not have done those 40 lengths, although I don't think it was 40 consecutively. But the idea is to build up. So if it's 10 now, then in a couple of weeks it can be 15. A couple of weeks it can be 20, and then she'll smash it.
It's only, you said 2 swims a week. There's only 1 swim a week on this.
Yeah, that's where 2 rest days. That's very lenient. I wouldn't go for that. So there are side notes which I'll show you. Yes, important. 2 times swim per week, drills an increasing consistent distance. Then that's where I said swap one of the bikes out. So make sure you're doing the one longer bike ride, which should be hitting that 40 kilometers each time. Get used to the distance and fueling. Should be fun bike rides. And then depending on what else happens, 1 to 2 runs. But preferably it's 2 swims, 2 bikes, and 1 run until she's doing all 6. But if you look at I don't know, like I quite like the plan. Like, it's 40 kilometers, 45 kilometers on the bike. The run is like 6 to 8K.
You've gone full distance straight away on the bike as well.
For like in my notes.
Oh no! This program is like race distance on the bike is done in week 1.
Yeah, she's also done it before, so
Okay.
That's all right.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think that's going to be. I think it'll be tough to do 4. Well, it's not. It's 5 sessions a week. If 6 sessions a week will be tough at the beginning at those distances. I would think even my plan didn't start off with 40K. I think it was less. Maybe it did, but that was full distance. I think you could half that in the first couple of weeks, the cycling.
But it's not so. I'm not worried. It's not distance. I think it's frequency, as you said. Like if I'm going out for a cycle, I'd rather actually just go out and do the distance. I'm out at that point. But
it's gone.
But yeah.
But that's, you say frequency. Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't think you have to go on week 1 and do 40 kilometers and do race distance. I think if you went out for a 20 on week 1, that would be good. And then even like week 2, you go 25 and then, increase it by a little bit each week or something. But you might struggle with like a 10 or 10 kilometer run the day after a 40K cycle if you haven't done many 40K cycles.
Yeah.
But the cycling and swimming priorities compared to the running now too. So
Yeah.
you could do the 40k cycle and then run a bit less as well.
True.
Trying to think what mine was like. I think I tried to tick off more cycling sessions because that was the aspect I was most worried about as well. So yeah, it makes sense. You pick the one. You pick probably your strength now is running, isn't it? I'd say weakness swimming, and then cycling in the middle. So you should do most swimming, least running.
Well, that's exactly what we said, is that swimming should always be 2, preferably bike 2, but if not, at least 1 that's hitting the distance, and then 1 run.
Yeah.
Like, if that's the minimum that I do, that's okay.
And would swimming be 1 interval session, 1 continuous, Alex, or
No, it's both the same.
both interval?
No. So both, like the session that we did together, and that she should repeat until it gets to the point where she can do like 1.5k in the not even, until you can do like 1 kilometer or 800 meters consistently. Then it's just about building up to that 800 meters. So it's starting with, I don't know, 100 meters of the drills to remember the proper technique and get the proper position. And then it's about as many laps as you can in a row before you're tired. And then when she gets to something like 800 meters done in a consistent block, then we can start breaking that up into like an interval.
Why are you laughing?
Because it made me go and look up my plan. Because I look at that and I think, oh, how many? What was it? 4, 5, 6 days? Oh, do all of that in one day and have the rest of the week off.
But actually, you say that, but the brick sessions almost like I'm looking forward to them, because it's like, right, tick them off, another day of rest.
But that doesn't reduce no, because it doesn't move one from Thursday to a brick. You get that as well. So it's not like, if I'm doing a brick, I don't have to run today. No, there as well. The most important thing, Ben said it, and Ola and I were talking, it was our magic 1st of May review of the year plan discussion today. And it was about the consistency. It's about doing them. And we joke about how many days it is away, and Ben, how late you started. But it's like anything. It's like studying for exams, diets, everything. If you skip one today, still 120 days. I've still got X number of weeks. You can't catch them back up at the end. And you can't. My coach, one of my first coaches said, you miss a session, it's gone. Don't think, I'll catch that up on my rest day. No, it's gone. And that's quite hard when you start, again, like I said, if you're studying for exams or whatever, or any of that, you realize, you don't get that back. You miss that.
That's where I will be lenient. Like if we talk about that 40k cycle, like let's call it 40k / like 1.5 hours minimum. So if 1 week it's not a 40k, but you do the 1.5 hours or like 1 hour 45, then that's kind of the same for me. It's about working that longer distance. So, and then exactly as Dad said, and getting that ticked box. Even if you can't do the 40k, you go and do the 1.5 hours.
Yeah.
Because
and if you can't do that, even though your coach says otherwise, because otherwise, we've said that before. The running was the hardest one for me. It's a 15k run. I can't do that. Okay, I'm not doing it. Whereas I'd have been better doing 5, even if I wasn't going to do 15. And 9 times out of 10, we've said when you start, you do it anyway. But that mental block of not going, it's better to do these in these times and do something rather than nothing.
Yeah. And I think the biggest thing is that I learned from the half marathon is I'm going tomorrow to print that plan. Like, I need to see it visually every day. Otherwise, it's so easy for it to be like, like in the back of your head. But if you see it every day and you physically have to tick or cross it,
I think it's free. The software that I used to use that the coaches could link into as well. I've forgotten what it's called. Training Peaks, I think it might be. And you can load them in there, and you load them by day, and your watch uploads to it as well. So it makes them green, orange, or red. I had a paid version so that the coaches could use it and upload. But nothing drives you like those traffic lights to get it green.
Well,
And the other thing we used to do that, you've got your plan out is, and I'm doing it already for next week. Either you get into a routine, they say for different people are different, but for me, if I get up, but that's why I like my cycle commute. There's no choice. That's what you're doing. So you don't think about it. If you think, oh, should I? And that's why I asked Alex for a plan as well. Should I ride today, or should I run, or should I rest, or should I cut the grass, or should I? No, you've got your plan, and you come back to that. Now, I have to look at next week's plan because I'm here doing this on Monday and this on Tuesday, and if I drive, I can't do that. But make sure you do all of the events and not all in one day, but so that you can. But you've got to either you have a schedule that is good and you stick to, or you plan every week in advance and say and communicate with Luca and whomever. I'm doing this day, so we're out on Saturday night. I've already told them I don't want any alcohol. Bring my alcohol-free drink because I've got a ride planned on Sunday.
Yeah.
Whereas if I say, well, I'll see how it goes Saturday night, and if I feel like it, I'll ride Sunday. Guess what? You don't.
It's not going to happen. Yeah, that's the thing. I think I need it in my calendar. So I think I want to sit down and whether it changes every week, but I want to try and aim for consistent days. These are my days. I'm doing this, especially with the swimming. I don't know if you remember me saying, but there's some like open lesson you can go to. So I want to try and go to that like once a week. So I want to have it in my calendar, the backup days, and I can jig it around a bit, but that's what I'm aiming for.
Also depends how you work at home, how you're organised at home as well. If it's on the fridge that Lucas sees, so that he knows, you've got a 10k run today, or you're going swimming today. Oh, you haven't been swimming. Why haven't you? There's that as well, the extra encouragement, but also space if you need that. Saying, if you've got a long ride planned on Sunday, I won't suggest going to the bar for karaoke on Saturday night.
I've already been threatened by Alex, but he's like, I want to see your green ticks every week and accountability.
But I think, with that, right, that plan, the aim was to start when you got back this week, but we've pushed it back 1 week because of sickness or whatever. So the session you've done today doesn't count as a green tick. Well, you get a green tick, but not on that plan.
No, this is my warm-up week. I'm getting back into it. So my aim for this week, I've done my one run, and I want to do one swim, and I want to do one bike.
Good plan.
But in saying that, bike is a bit of a problem. I need to see about the tyre because it's completely flat, so that might not happen.
Which happened how many days ago?
Well, I discovered it on Monday.
And it's still there.
I'm busy!
Maybe that's the next episode. We'll talk about priorities. I quit my job, moved back over to the Ironman.
Hey, let's get this in perspective, huh?
Priorities were clear.
Or maybe that's the next episode where how to fix a puncture. You'll have to walk me through it.
I've done that before.
Well, again.
Yes. No, well, not the next episode because that's in 2 weeks and you're not waiting 2 weeks to get it fixed.
It's a good excuse, that is, isn't it? I couldn't do it before.
No laces, flat tire.
What's your plan for the puncture?
What do you mean, what's my plan?
How's it going to get fixed?
I'm going to take it to Patricia's husband and ask him to do it.
Show you how to do it.
He already showed me, so I have to ask again.
What did I do the other day, Alex? I had a puncture, didn't I? When I had that disaster going out to test the race, and believe it or not, I needed tips from Alex, not because it's Alex, but how to get the tyre off. There are things that, and I often go through. You have to decide in advance. If you get a puncture, is your race over?
That's another episode. Let's not.
Yeah, but no, that's that kind of thing. Because
you need to know.
Don't bother. If you don't carry the spares and you don't know how to change a flat, then your race is over. So don't bother carrying the spares.
True.
But there are some tips and techniques that help you and can make a difference.
Yeah, but having a person there, that's the easiest. Like you used me, you go and ask Patricia's husband. Instead of telling him, hey, it's broken again, can you fix it? Tell him, can I come and fix it with you there next to me?
Yeah, yeah.
And then you
I
should do
need
it
to
and
know.
he'll give you the pointers.
Yeah.
And to be
That's
honest, that's not just about the race. If you're going out and cycling 40k every week,
You should know
chances
anyway.
are I mean, that was part of my problem. I hardly ever get punctures. So,
Mm.
and this
Yeah.
was simple techniques like pushing the tire into the middle because the wheel's a bit wider there and it's easier to get it off.
What
Maybe
I need
that's
to. Oh, okay.
well, maybe that's actually an interesting topic for next week because part of me, I don't want to cycle without other people because I don't really know the routes. Like it's one thing less to think about, right? Like if I go out with my run girls who are also cycle girls, I can just follow them and everything's nice and dandy. But I already messaged them like, does anyone want to cycle? And they didn't reply. So I'm like, oh, what does that mean now?
If they're
Out
cycle
and back.
girls, they want to cycle. But if they're run girls and they're the cycle girls, they must be tri girls, really.
Well,
It's
I
in
think so.
progress.
Yeah, it's in progress. But yeah, maybe just an out and back something.
There's a good free app, Rebecca, for cycling. Komoot.
Oh yeah, but I
can
don't
give
have.
you
The thing is, I don't have any
She
like
doesn't have the
computer or
GPS.
anything.
No, but you do it on your phone. You can get a phone holder on the bike. That's what I do.
Maybe I need to get that.
Yeah, I got it. I think we got it from Shein or something, like a €2 phone holder. It's like a spider web sort of thing.
Yeah.
It attaches by elastic on your bike, so it's easy to put on there. And your phone goes in like elastically. You can put it horizontally or vertically. Then you can turn on the volume on your phone, so it tells you when to turn, but you can see the map too.
Yeah, that's all I would need, I think. I'll have a
Now,
look.
just to give you it doesn't work on my bike. None of that shit works on my bikes.
No
And
Shein
you
shit.
don't need it for the race.
Yeah.
They'll be signposted.
Yeah. What are
If
you
you're
going to
riding
say,
Alex,
Ellie?
like you'll get a fancy computer on race day anyway, won't you?
I won't know how to use it, so nothing new on race day, other than the bike,
bike,
and the
new
wetsuit.
wetsuit, dry suit, new
Yeah,
laces.
that's enough.
As we start to wrap up, I'll tell you a little story. So let's wrap up in half an hour because I've got a little story. No, I'm like Dad, you said about the plan and how that makes it easier. I've still been struggling a lot the last couple of weeks about like even though I have a plan and the sessions listed out, I'm still coming up with excuses. Like especially in the week when I'm not like after work, then I'm like, oh, I can't really be bothered. I sit down, I push it back, Yet I've still got the green ticks because I know, okay, now you've done your first race, you can start to get that experience, right? But I know like I've done enough now where it's like I know if I'm not doing these sessions, then I'm not getting the outcome I want on the race day. And so even though I'm putting it off and I'm saying like I'd much rather just sit at home, eat something, go to bed early if I'm tired. Like I don't feel like doing the session. Yeah, it's always different when you do it, then you feel good. But think about 128 days from now. What do you want to feel? Do you want to feel like, wow, I've put in the work, I'm happy to be here, I'm crossing that line, collecting my medal, and it feels fucking awesome?
Yeah.
Or do you want to be like on the start line, like
Should have
maybe I
done
have
more.
yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It's
And you
true.
can always do more. Things will happen, but as many green ticks as you can.
Mm.
That's good.
Ben's
That's what,
turned into a little mouse.
Yeah, I think also I printed out for the half marathon, Dad, what you gave me for my birthday, like my entrance, my ticket, my time, and I taped that to the calendar. And every month when I was flicking it over, and suddenly it got to April, and it was like, oh my god! And I think I'm going to do the same for September. It's like I'll have it here, but also then on the calendar, and yeah, I think that will provoke enough fear in me.
and enjoyment. That was the point about the bike. It's not all, oh my god, I have to do this. It's
Yeah.
enjoying the process of doing it. Otherwise, yeah, there's not. What's the point?
Yeah.
And 124 days, your plan's broken down into blocks. Because I think that's the other part of the issue. 124 sounds a lot. 4 months sounds a lot. And it's like, if I don't do this one, there's another 100 coming up, and it might be worth counting how many sessions you've got of each. But also at the end of a block, also do a review on, because if you sit down and look at your plan, we've all done that as well. First of all, when the coach gives you a plan, you say, I'm not doing that on that day. Get out of here. I'm busy. I'm doing this or that. No. And your first thing is to resist. And then you look at it and you say, yeah, that's easy. Yeah, I've got that. And then after your first 2-3 weeks or your first block, you look back and you say, okay, and it's worth so why didn't you do that one? And what stopped you doing that? Because what can we do to make sure we can do it next time? Because you'll find it's just the similar problem that blocks you from doing it. I mean, what helps me and freaks me at the moment, open water starts now. I think it was actually this week, wasn't it? It started.
One of them, yeah, not Willowbrook, but Hofstad.
But then it's next week either as well. So and if you go to Willowbrook, it's only Tuesday or Thursday night, so you don't got a choice. Well, Tuesday or Thursday, but you miss them, you're gone. And swim with a coach Monday. Well, that's life sorted. It's not. Do I feel like it? Don't I feel like it? It's like if I don't go, then that's gone. It's not like I can do it tomorrow or early and that's where the routine scheduling helps you as well, particularly if you've got other things like walking dogs or working or what have you. I've only got this time. I've got to go now.
Yeah.
They say about people that if you're going to run first thing in the morning, which I prefer to do, especially when it's hot like this, you lay your kit out the next day, so you get up and you go. You don't give yourself a chance to
wear it to
opt
bed.
out.
That's the one I read this week. Someone was saying, wear it to bed.
God. Fair enough. Yeah. Yay.
Mr. Ben is back.
Right.
Last words of advice or tips, Ben?
Start.
I've got a question. When are you starting to train, Ben?
In 2 months.
Yeah.
No, when will I train?
June.
Yeah, probably on holiday.
Yeah.
That'll probably be when I start. If
we can
start.
do a joint
Camp.
training session.
Yeah,
We can do a
if I-
little race.
Is if I can start too, though, right? Because the last time we went with 3 children, 2 girls that were fine by themselves, 1 small one. But this time it's going to be 2 quite small, 2 big. But we'll see.
But there's a grandparent there to do some babysitting whilst we all going to have a little race.
Yeah, for 10 days, not for the whole 3 weeks, but
Yeah.
Yeah, the race will be in those 10 days. Don't worry.
I'm
going to plan the race. This is exciting.
But that's good. That's a good.
When are you planning a race? Are you going to bring a bike each then as well?
I'll see what I can do.
Rent a bike.
I don't know if they had bike hire there or not.
Or a go-kart.
Yeah, there might be
something.
like a little go-kart or one of those beach buggies. You might be on the bike part together. Like in one of those that seats 4 people. And I'll be there with a whistle on the back.
Maybe something to discuss in the next one, because we should be finishing, shouldn't we? But I've still been looking at the gym to see if that's going to be my best way of training now, and going like early in the morning. I don't know. I just don't know when I have time now. It's like I think 5 o'clock in the morning for an hour each day would be better than anything else we can do at the moment. So we'll see.
Yeah. Gosh, I do have to say, Ben, you are a little bit my motivation, because sometimes I wake up and I'm like, wait, Ben woke up at these times to do a run before he got the kids ready to school before, and it's like, if Ben can do that, I can wake up at 9 o'clock to go for a run.
9 o'clock.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Indeed, and you can rest as well after your run, right? I come back and there's not resting
Mad.
happening.
All right.
All right.
Good job.
Welcome back.
Every
We
2
are
weeks. Check in.
We are back. Yeah.
When are we doing it now? Next? Is it in 2 weeks? Because normally it's meant to be next week, isn't it? Because this was a rearranged